Tonight, a Grove City mom says she spent years fighting to connect her adopted son with his brother. And eventually, she hoped to adopt that boy as well. But after prepping to take the child in, she says Franklin County Children's Services changed their minds and allowed him to be adopted by someone else.
In a story you will see only on 10 TV, 10 Investigates Rochelle Aline reports and breaks down the legal battle this family is now going through and the new legislation that aims to keep this kind of thing from happening again.
We became licensed in 2019.
Cola Zephyr always knew she'd be a foster mom. In 2022, she says she adopted one of her foster kids and then found out he had a baby brother on the way. She told 10 Investigates she immediately made calls to see if that younger sibling would also be placed in the foster system.
Clearly it was important to you guys.
Yeah,
Why?
because one way or another, they had a bond.
According to state law, child protective agencies are supposed to notify the relatives of kids they place in their system within 30 days, and that law includes adoptive parents and siblings. At the time, Zephyr says she was assured she'd be notified, but instead, she tells me she spent 2 years without answers. That is, until January of 2025, when she says she got a call from an agency. They told her her son's brother had been in foster care and would now be eligible for adoption.
And I was flabbergasted. I said, why is this the first time I'm getting called? I have been looking for him. I've been looking for him for 2 years.
And what's the answer you got?
And they said, I don't know.
Zephyr says she expressed interest in adopting the toddler and claims after initially being told she was a good fit, FCCS later decided not to place the child with her. In a statement, FCCS told 10 Investigates it's unclear why Zephyr was not notified. And that statement went on to say in part, quote, "In this situation, the recommendation of those who knew this little boy best was that he should not be taken from the only family he has known." End quote. According to FCCS, that child has since been adopted by his foster family. And Zephyr says they have cut contact between the boys.
What has the impact been so far? Because he has a brother, he's met his brother, now he can't see his brother.
He has been so dysregulated.
Zephyr and her family are now fighting that adoption in court.
Because we recognize the power and impact that has when we know their brothers, sisters are able to coexist in the same home.
But there's a newly filed bill that hopes to keep this kind of thing from happening in the first place. House Bill 902, or the Foster Sibling Success Act, aims to keep siblings in the system connected, either by placing them in the same home, in close proximity, or by allowing them to speak with each other.
There are cases where siblings do not have contact for whatever reason. And we want to have documented information as to why that is occurring.
And both of the bill's sponsors say it will keep local child protective agencies from having to make up their own guidelines on this issue.
It's called the Ohio Revised Code for a reason. We revise it very often when we see real impact to families simply because of the code that we have on the books.
In Columbus, Rochelle Aline, 10 TV News.
If you have a story you would like our 10 Investigates team to look into, send us an email to the address on your screen, 10investigates@10tv.com.